Hey there, you're looking kind of cute. Don't forget to subscribe and check out all my other socials. Enjoy. Welcome to our countdown of the top 10 most beautiful transgender women in the world. These inspiring women come from diverse fields, including entertainment, fashion, activism, sports, and more. And all of them are celebrated not just only for their stunning beauty, but for their remarkable achievements and contributions. Each have a unique story that captivated the world, proving that true beauty shines from authenticity, talent, and courage. Let's dive in. Number 10. Dana International. In 1998, Dana International made history by winning the Eurovision Song Contest with her infectious pop anthem, Diva. Becoming the first transgender performer to take the Eurovision crown. Hailing from Israel, Dana, born Sharon Cohen in 1969, had already built a pop career. But it was this dazzling victory on one of the world's biggest stages that launched her to international fame. Her performance, full of glamour, confidence, and camp energy, symbolized a turning point for LGBTQ visibility in entertainment. Dana's Eurovision win was not only a personal triumph, but also a cultural milestone. In the lead-up, some conservative groups attempted to block her participation, but Dana persevered and proudly represented her country. When she clinched the win in Birmingham, she became a national hero in Israel and an icon worldwide. The song, Diva, became an instant Eurovision classic, and Dana's name was splashed across global headlines as a symbol of progress and pride for the transgender community. Following her Eurovision triumph, Dana International solidified her status as a pop diva. She continued to release music and even returned to the Eurovision stage in 2011 as a contestant once more. Over the years, she has remained a beloved figure, touring internationally and serving as a judge on Israeli television music competitions. With her flamboyant style and powerful voice, Dana showed the world that a transgender woman could be a superstar. Number 9. Parinya Charoenphol, aka Nong Toom. Meet Parinya Charoenphol, better known as Nong Toom, a woman whose extraordinary journey took her from the Muay Thai boxing ring to international fame. Born in Thailand in 1981, Parinya knew from a young age that she was transgender, and in her teens, she entered the hypermasculine world of Thai kickboxing. Fighting under the nickname Nong Toom, she became a sensation in the late 1990s by competing in matches wearing makeup and feminine attire, a bold expression of her identity that was unheard of in the sport at that time. Her combination of fighting skill and personal flair drew huge crowds and media attention. It was an unforgettable sight, the beautiful boxer defeating male opponents with skill and then playfully planting a kiss on them after victory. She publicly came out as transgender while still actively fighting, breaking one of the toughest barriers in sports. By age 17, she had amassed dozens of wins, yet her ultimate dream was to live authentically as herself. She famously said she took up boxing to earn enough money for gender confirmation surgery, a goal she achieved around 1999. Her story was so compelling that it was made into an acclaimed biographical film, Beautiful Boxer, 2003, which introduced her journey to audiences worldwide and highlighted broader issues of gender and identity. Number 8. Jenna Talackova. In 2012, Jenna Talackova captured global attention when she fought for her right to compete in the Miss Universe Canada pageant and won a bigger victory than a crown. Born in 1988 in Vancouver, Jenna had known her truth from an early age. She began living as female in childhood and completed her transition as a teenager. She entered Miss Universe Canada with hopes of becoming the first transgender Miss Universe contestant. Initially, pageant officials disqualified her upon discovering she was trans, citing rules about naturally born female contestants. Rather than quietly accept defeat, Jenna stood up and challenged the decision, sparking a public debate about inclusion and fairness in the beauty world. The story made international headlines. Jenna held a press conference with high-profile lawyer Gloria Allred by her side, confidently asserting, "I am a woman," and calling the rule outdated and discriminatory. The public rallied behind her. Under growing pressure, the decision was reversed.
Well, if beauty was the only requirement to enter the Miss Universe Canada pageant, then Jenna Talackova would never have had a problem. Today, a week after being disqualified for being transgendered, she's back in the competition.
Jenna was allowed back into the competition. Not only that, the Miss Universe organization announced it would open its pageants to transgender women moving forward, abolishing the very rule that had blocked her. Jenna's personal fight thus led to a historic policy change benefiting others to come. During the Miss Universe Canada 2012 pageant, Jenna Talackova performed admirably. She advanced to the finals, placing in the top 12, and earned the title of Miss Congeniality, an award fitting for someone whose grace and positivity inspired her peers. Though she didn't win the overall crown, Jenna won something far more impactful. She became a trailblazer for transgender visibility. Following the pageant, she embraced her role as a public figure. She starred in a reality TV show called Brave New Girls, using her platform to educate and empower. Her legacy lives on every time a trans woman steps on a pageant stage with confidence. Number 7. Dominique Jackson. Born in Tobago in 1975, Dominique had a difficult early life marked by bullying and hardship. In her late teens, she moved to the United States, seeking safety and a place to be herself. There she found family in New York City's ballroom scene, where she became a fixture, walking runways in underground competitions and earning the nickname Tira for her commanding stage persona. It was a long journey from a traumatic childhood to the confident, towering woman we now know. Dominique Jackson became globally known for her scene-stealing role as Electra Abundance on the hit series Pose. On Pose, set in the 1980s ballroom world, Dominique's character is a fierce house mother with a sharp tongue and impeccable style, and fans couldn't get enough. The show turned Dominique into a cultural icon virtually overnight. Besides Pose, Dominique is an author and activist. She penned a memoir, The Transsexual from Tobago, recounting her story from a small Caribbean island to the heights of New York's fashion and entertainment circles. She also appeared on a reality TV show, Strut, about transgender models, and continues to walk fashion runways because once a model, always a model. Number 6. Ines Rau. French-born Ines Rau has the distinction of making history as Playboy magazine's first openly transgender Playmate model, shattering a 64-year-old barrier in the iconic publication. Ines, who grew up in Paris with a love for dance and fashion, transitioned in her teens but lived somewhat out of the spotlight until her mid-20s. Everything changed in November 2017, when Playboy introduced Ines to the world in a glamorous pictorial and announced her as that issue's Playmate of the Month, the first time a trans woman earned that title in Playboy's history. It was a groundbreaking moment not just for Ines, but for the modeling industry and transgender visibility in media. "It's the most beautiful compliment I've ever received," Ines said of being chosen. Ines Rau's modeling career, however, extends far beyond that milestone. Standing at 5 feet 10 inches with an elegant, statuesque look, Ines had been working in fashion circles and DJing in clubs before her Playboy debut. She had posed for notable photographers and even appeared uncredited in a previous Playboy special edition years earlier. But after November 2017, her star truly ascended. Ines went on to walk runways in fashion capitals and became an advocate for transgender rights. She authored a memoir titled Woman, in which she shares her life story. From a childhood feeling different, to dancing for DJs in Ibiza, to finally embracing her true self and finding success. In interviews, Ines emphasizes how being true to herself brought her happiness and how she hopes her visibility can inspire others to live authentically. Number 5. Ángela Ponce. In 2018, Ángela Ponce made history by becoming the first openly transgender woman to win a national Miss Universe title when she was crowned Miss Universe Spain. This victory was groundbreaking because it allowed her to compete in the global Miss Universe competition later that year in Thailand. Ángela would not have been able to compete at all if not for Jenna Talackova's fight in 2012, making Ángela's participation in Miss Universe possible years later. At Miss Universe 2018, Ángela did not advance to the top 20, meaning she was not selected as one of the finalists in the competition. However, her participation was still historic. The pageant honored her with a special segment on stage, recognizing the significance of her journey. Walking gracefully in a stunning gown, She held Spain's flag with tears in her eyes as the audience gave her a standing ovation. Ángela declared, "I don't need to win Miss Universe. I only need to be here," emphasizing that her mere presence was a victory for transgender visibility worldwide. Number 4, Lea T. Lea T has been a trailblazer on international runways since the early 2010s, making history as one of the first openly transgender supermodels at the elite levels of fashion. Born Leandra Medeiros Cerezo in Brazil in 1981, she had a unique introduction to fame. Lea is the daughter of Brazilian football legend Toninho Cerezo, and her upbringing straddled between Brazil and Italy. However, it was her own destiny, not her father's name, that would catapult her into the limelight. Discovered by Givenchy's creative director, Riccardo Tisci, Lea became the muse of the fashion house. In 2010, she stunned the industry by appearing in Givenchy's ad campaigns and shows, presenting an androgynous, striking beauty that immediately turned heads. High cheekbones, flowing dark hair, and an elegant, almost regal presence made Lea T unforgettable in print and on the catwalk. As her modeling career took off, Lea simultaneously became an icon of progress. In a bold and candid interview on Oprah Winfrey's talk show in 2011, Lea spoke about her transition and personal journey, demystifying the experience of a trans woman for millions of viewers. It was rare at that time to see a transgender model speak so openly on such a large platform, and Lea's poise and honesty endeared her to many. She went on to grace the covers of magazines like Love, famously posing nude, and Elle Brazil. One of the most buzzed-about moments was when Lea T and supermodel Kate Moss shared a passionate kiss on the cover of Love magazine in 2011. A provocative and symbolic image that challenged fashion norms and celebrated diversity. Lea's achievements are numerous. She was the face of Redken hair products, walked for countless top designers, and was named one of the 50 top models in the world at one point. But beyond that, Lea T has used her prominence to advocate for transgender acceptance. She has said that initially she never set out to be a role model. She was a shy person thrust into fame, but she embraced the responsibility as young trans people looked up to her. In a touching moment at the 2016 Rio Olympics opening ceremony, Lea rode out on a bicycle, leading Brazil's team into the stadium, becoming one of the first trans individuals to have a visible role in an Olympic ceremony. That moment, broadcast worldwide, was a quiet statement of inclusion on sport's grandest stage. Number 3, Andreja Pejić. Andreja Pejić took the fashion industry by storm with a look and career path that can only be described as revolutionary. Born in 1991 in war-torn Bosnia, former Yugoslavia, Andreja's family eventually found refuge in Australia. It was in Melbourne at age 16 that Andreja was scouted while working at a McDonald's, an unlikely start for someone who would soon walk the runways of Paris and Milan. Before coming out as a transgender woman, Andreja built fame in the early 2000s as an androgynous model who could seamlessly model both menswear and women's wear. Designers and fashion editors were captivated by her striking bone structure, flowing blonde hair, and the chameleon-like quality that allowed her to defy gender expectations on the catwalk. Famously, she walked in Jean-Paul Gaultier's shows, both in a sharp men's suit and a glamorous bridal dress, in the same fashion season. This bold visibility challenged fashion's norms and made Andreja a media sensation. In 2014, Andreja publicly came out as transgender and underwent gender affirmation surgery, introducing herself to the world anew, now firmly identifying as the woman she always knew she was. What followed were even more groundbreaking moments. In 2015, Vogue profiled her in its pages, making Andreja the first openly trans model to be the subject of a profile in the magazine's history. That same year, she became the first trans model to land a major cosmetics contract, becoming the face of Makeup Forever. Andreja's career reached milestone after milestone. She appeared on the cover of GQ as the first trans cover model for that men's magazine, and her high fashion resume grew to include ads for Marc Jacobs, DKNY, and more. Despite the industry's pressures, Andreja has always approached modeling with creativity and grace. "We're finally figuring out that gender and sexuality are more complicated," she told Vogue in an interview, addressing how perceptions were evolving. Number 2, Laverne Cox. Continuing our list is a woman whose name has become almost synonymous with the modern transgender movement in media. Laverne is an Emmy-nominated actress, a documentary producer, a dynamic activist, and undeniably a stunning presence who has graced countless magazine covers. She first commanded widespread attention through her breakout role as Sophia Bursay on Netflix's hit series Orange is the New Black, a role that earned her a Primetime Emmy nomination in 2014, making Laverne the first openly transgender person ever nominated for an acting Emmy. Week after week, millions watched Laverne's heartfelt portrayal of Sophia, a prison hairstylist, bringing a nuanced trans character into homes worldwide. Her performance was lauded by critics and loved by fans, but equally important was the broader impact. Laverne proved that a trans actress could hold her own among TV's best. As Laverne's star rose, so did her platform for advocacy. In that same breakthrough year, she became the first transgender person to appear on the cover of Time magazine, fronting an issue titled "The Transgender Tipping Point." There she was, tall and poised in a blue dress, signaling a cultural shift in visibility. From there, the milestones kept coming. She was the first trans woman on the cover of Cosmopolitan South Africa edition, and even the first to have a wax figure at Madame Tussauds. Mattel created a Barbie doll in Laverne's likeness in 2022, the first ever trans Barbie, honoring her influence on the toy giant's 63rd birthday. But it's not just about the firsts. Laverne's activism work is deeply impactful. She's produced documentaries, like Disclosure in 2020, examining Hollywood's depictions of transgender people, and has spoken out tirelessly about issues such as transgender violence, healthcare access, and LGBTQ rights. She's received numerous awards for her advocacy and was even invited to the White House during the Obama administration as a distinguished guest. Despite all the accolades, Laverne often emphasizes that her journey was not easy. Growing up in Alabama, she faced bullying. By sharing these personal struggles, she's helped others see that they're not alone and that success is possible. Number 1, Hunter Schafer. And finally, we have the beautiful Hunter Schafer, a young woman who seemingly can do it all. She's a fashion model with ethereal beauty, a critically acclaimed actress, and an outspoken activist for LGBTQ rights. Born in 1998 in North Carolina, Hunter first made headlines not on screen, but in the courtroom. As a high school student, she became a prominent voice against North Carolina's restrictive bathroom bill, even joining a lawsuit to fight for trans rights. This advocacy work as a teen hinted at her courage and convictions. At the same time, Hunter was nurturing her artistic side. She had a passion for visual art and fashion, and after graduating, she started modeling professionally. With her willowy frame, translucent blue eyes, and platinum hair, Hunter walked runways for brands like Marc Jacobs and Dior, enchanting the fashion world. Her big break, however, came in acting. In 2019, Hunter Schafer was cast as Jules Vaughn in HBO's teen drama Euphoria, marking her very first acting role. An astonishing fact given the depth and nuance she brought to the character. Euphoria became a global phenomenon, and Hunter's performance as Jules, a transgender teen navigating love, identity, and trauma, earned widespread praise. Audiences connected with Hunter's authentic portrayal. Many noted that she wasn't just playing a trans character, she was a trans person bringing her truth to the role. Off-camera, Hunter even co-wrote an episode of the series, displaying her creativity behind the scenes as well. After Euphoria's success, there was no doubt Hunter had also become one of the most captivating new faces in Hollywood, and one of the most beautiful. With her delicate, almost otherworldly look, she started gracing magazine covers and snagging luxury fashion campaigns, all while maintaining an air of genuine humility. These 10 women are far more than just beautiful faces. They are pioneers, role models, and changemakers. One thing's certain, the world is a more vibrant and accepting place because of them. Did we miss any? Leave a comment and let us know what other beautiful trans women should be on the list. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out my other socials if you want more content, early access, behind the scenes, and more. All links down below.